Cracking a cold one. Yeah. Oh, that's tasty. Need that after last couple days I've had. It's been a tense one. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Good evening to you. Oh my goodness, the tummy is rumbling. Right off the bat, I want to thank everyone who hit me up on social media regarding what I posted last night about Mrs. J-Bone, my wife. Had to take her to the hospital late last night. She was very sick, nonstop for 12 hours, and she's diabetic. So before she got to the point where I wasn't going to be able to take her in, you know, if I had to call an ambulance or something, I took her in. They gave her some fluid, some anti-nausea stuff. I think what it was is she's on some new pain meds because she's got fibromyalgia. And it seems like she's been going downhill since she started taking them. So the doctor chalked it up to an allergic reaction to this new stuff she's on, which caused her to get violently ill. So they recommended her taking some like Benadryl with her new pills and stuff like that. So she's on the mend. She's home. She's getting her strength back. She's better. Well, she's not A+ better, but she's getting better. So thank you all who shared your love, thoughts, prayers, concern, whatever you did. It's most appreciated. Because I'm nothing without her. She's my rock. She's very important to J-Bone and everything that's going on with him. So, and not to be thank you, agent. Thank you. Yeah, she's getting better. And not to be a Debbie Downer amongst other things going into this. I want to have a moment of silence for one of the greatest icons in Hollywood. We lost Mr. Burt Reynolds, Boogie Nights, Cannonball Run, Smokey and the Bandit, amongst so many others that he made famous. So I just want to have a quick moment of silence for for passing away of Mr. Burt Reynolds. Thank you. Yes, rest in peace, Burt. What's up, Ronnie? Welcome to the show. We're tipping a cold one for Burt tonight. Very sad, very sad. I mean, he's been very frail over the last few years, so, you know, it seemed like his time was up. I don't know if it was natural causes. I don't know if it was cancer. I have no idea what it was. I haven't been keeping that close a track of him, but every once in a while on my social media, I'll see bloopers from like Cannonball Run or Smokey and the Bandit. Him and Dom DeLuise just constantly cracking jokes. And if you haven't seen the bloopers and stuff, the movies are classics. I mean, I come from appreciating a time in movies where things were a lot more raw and uncensored and maybe a little less PC as these guys were coming up in the industry. And so yeah, if you don't know his stuff, and by all means, if you want to see some of his better, newer stuff, go check out Boogie Nights. He's great in that movie. He really is. So many great actors in that movie. It's raunchy as hell, but still, it's a very good movie. So we remember Burt this evening. Very entertaining icon in Hollywood. So yeah, Impact Wrestling. My goodness, hell of a show tonight. Caretakers in the chat. Good evening to you, sir. Getting some viewers in here. Come on in. Come on in. Crack a cold one. Had the best laugh. Yeah, he did. He did. In fact, I've got, somewhere amongst, I've got like a handful of Hot Wheels left back from when I was a wee little guy. And I'm pretty sure one of them was a black Trans Am with a gold Phoenix on the front of it. Firebird, I think is what it was called back then. I'm not a car guy, but if you were my age back then, you had to have that little black Trans Am with the gold Firebird on it. It's great stuff. You can't replicate that nowadays. You just can't. Killer mustache. Hell yeah, man. Mustache. Hell yeah. All right. So, man, where do we start with this Impact Wrestling? Yeah. I love Eli Drake. Let's start with Eli Drake. My goodness, that guy's just priceless. And that guy had me all kinds of fired up, excited to get on here and talk about it. I love Eli Drake. And yeah, I know Eli Drake has a lot of fans out there, and there's a lot of love for him. And I know there's a lot of people that look at him right now and they say, oh, he should be champ. He should be this. He should be that. Hey, I have a lot of favorites in Impact Wrestling, and I would love to see all of them champ, but they can't all be champ at once. Not everybody can be king of the mountain. I feel like what he's doing right now is still, even though he may not be on top, he's still damn entertaining because he is one of the best guys on that roster. And just the fact that he stayed, take a breath, J-Bone. Just the fact that he stayed with Impact Wrestling says something. I'm missing something up here. What am I missing? Cat's always knocking my shit down. What am I missing up here? Oh, I swear to God, if my cat knocked down my Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is supposed to be sitting right here. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're not going to go hunt for him now, but I've got one sitting up here on my desk. There we go. That's how we fix that. That's how we remedy that, folks. The one I had up there was it was an Elite. I've also got one in the 4-pack here for the NWO. I wish it was separate, but it's badass. Damn cat. That darn cat. So yeah. Eli Drake in his challenge, he brings out Stone Rockwell. Stone Rockwell answers the challenge. This guy. Did someone say adventure? Oh my goodness. If you're not familiar with him, and if you want to see a few funny little clips of him, he's got his own series on the Impact Twitch channel. And it's just him in the Raw with other people doing adventure type stuff. It's not really adventures. What were they doing last week or the week before? I think they were. What the hell were they doing? He and like Santino and someone else. Oh, they were axe throwing or something. And just whoever was holding the camera for this or the phone, you know, however they were shooting this on Twitch, kept it over like Stone Rockwell's shoulder almost the whole time. So like just right off camera was Stone Rockwell, and he'd turn around and he'd be like, He'd be like, yes, this is my show. Love me. Love me. And I don't know what the hell it is. There's something about Stone Rockwell that's like borderline, almost, I want to say like magnetic. Like he is very entertaining. He has a great look. It's a throwback to Indiana Jones and the Temple of whatever, Raiders of the Lost Ark, that character. And he just throws his whole self into it. He also, if you go to the YouTube channel, there's an interview with him and Josh Matthews. I forget what they call those little interview segments where they're behind the desk and they're talking. It's just damn funny. You got to go see it. So, unfortunately, Stone Rockwell, and I'm assuming he's a decent wrestler, otherwise they wouldn't have him on there. He can't just be a pretty face and zero in-ring talent. But he takes a gravy train, boom, 1, 2, 3. There's a beer commercial with his name on it. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? This is probably, well, this is, a special light, but this is probably the beer he should be plugging. Hams, the beer refreshing. And he could sing the Hams song as he's from the land of sky blue waters. Yeah, my voice is shot as far as singing, but Stone Rockwell singing a song like that would just be absolutely choice. It'd be hilarious. Hams, the beer refreshing. Too damn funny. So yeah, Stone Rockwell loses the Eli Drake challenge. So now that we got that, let's just go back to the beginning and go through this. I sometimes jump all over the place, but not always. So let's just do this. We get Matt Sydal at ringside with Rich Swann getting a rematch with Petey Williams. I should say Petey Williams getting a rematch with Rich Swann. Rich Swann won last week. Petey Williams won this week. The only reason why he won is because Sydal distracted Rich Swann as he was about to get the win. And Sydal keeps talking about this, third eye stuff, and him talking with Josh Matthews and Don Callis. Don Callis, my goodness, just too damn funny. Too damn funny. He's a really good color guy, but he's so much more than that because he's a good, inside the industry guy. He's not just a color guy like Bobby Heenan. He's so much more than that. You know what I mean? Because he's also in New Japan. He's got history with a lot of different people. So he brings so much more than just his charisma to the desk. Especially when they start talking about, something like Chris Jericho. And man, did they plug Chris Jericho's cruise again. Man, oh man. It's just, folks, I think the clock is ticking. Seriously, the clock is ticking. I think it's almost inevitable. I wouldn't say it's definite, but everything's falling in place. I really think everything's falling in place. And I know I'm reverting back to All In when I'm talking about this, but and of course they couldn't talk about this on the show tonight because they taped all the commentary. Is WWE plugging the cruise too? No, I know. No, because there's no WWE people on this cruise other than Jericho, who occasionally works for WWE now. Everything is Ring of Honor or New Japan or Impact. or that's it. So so no, there's no WWE. There's I don't know if there's like a few like other wrestling related individuals that are on this cruise. I know there's some bands, there's matches planned. I don't know if like someone like Jim Ross, who is also kind of WWE ish, here and there. I don't know if he's on there. I'm not sure. Jim Ross has his hand in a lot of different cookie jars, but man, I'd love to be a fly in the wall for this Jericho cruise. I seriously would. But if you watched All In, and if you didn't, you damn better, because you're one of the best shows, if not the best show of the year. It's hands down the best wrestling show that I've ever been to personally. I've heard several people, including podcast friends of mine, who have been to several WrestleManias, saying this topped their WrestleMania experience. And I don't want to go on and on and on about this, but there was something that happened between Jericho and Don Callis. If you blinked, you missed it. But when Jericho attacked Omega and then left the ring through the crowd and went past the announce desk, he pushed the announce desk or startled them to the point that Don Callis fell backwards and they had to help him up. So, I mean, if they wanted to, they could use this in some sort of way. If they don't use the footage, they could at least talk about it and use it as a drawing point to bring him in. Something. It could be the start of something to bring him in. But the great thing that Impact is doing now is they're showing so many behind the scenes things that even the fact that they're getting taped early, you can't talk about it because nobody knows about it. The greatest example of this is Killer Kross. They filmed all the Killer Kross stuff backstage, none of it out in front of the people. No one know who it was. Well, if you could probably I was trying to narrow it down to a couple of people, and then as the promos went on, it became more and more evident who it was. But the fact that they did all that backstage, not in front of the eyes of the people or the public, was one of the best surprise as far as someone new to the roster in ages. And the fact that they did that and were successful at it, in my opinion, they could do this with Jericho easily. They could cut a promo. No one would know it was coming. They could do a backstage thing, or something like away from the club where they're doing this. Hell, they could do something down in Mexico. No one would know it. I don't know what Fozzy's tour schedule is right now. But I think it's inevitable that Jericho's going to do something with them. And it's not a bad thing, folks. That's money for Impact Wrestling. That's going to draw in a whole new card of folks saying, oh, what's going on over here? That's not a bad thing, folks. I had it looming in the back of my head that they might bring him in to face Aries for Bound for Glory. But I don't think that's in the cards, because now we found out at the end of the episode tonight that Johnny, I just keep calling him Johnny Mundo because that's what that's where I refer to him most at. But Johnny Impact, he's Johnny Fusion on MLW. It's Johnny Enter company name. Johnny Impact is facing Aries at Bound for Glory for the championship. I think that's interesting. Just looking at the chat real quick. They're going to fit all that on one boat. I don't know, but it's going to be damn interesting. Between metal bands and a ring and people. The cabins are going quick. That's all I've heard. So out of the blue, we find out that Johnny is going to face Austin Aries. I think that's very interesting. I think it's even more interesting that he's by himself and he's got to worry about two guys like Moose and Cross backing up Aries. That makes it sound like it's almost impossible, you know? Like, we got to even the odds a little bit. Like, someone should be in Johnny's corner, you know? And who's going to be that person? I don't know. What I honestly can't wait for, and I'm very curious, is to see very curious to see how they do this. Is we've got one more episode of the Canadian tapings, and then whatever is left is getting taped down in Mexico on the 13th and 14th. So in 2 weeks? Less than a week. Whatever. Less than 2 weeks. They'll be down there filming stuff. I can't wait to see what they do down there. I'm really excited about whatever they're going to do down there, because I think they're going to include some new faces, and it's certainly a new atmosphere. It's also going to be very interesting to see what the crowd is like down there. No air horns, please. Check your air horns at the door. If you've ever seen AAA shows, you know what I'm talking about. It's air horns all over the place. My goodness. I wouldn't be able to sit through that. I wouldn't. It's like migraine city. Lance Skipper is in the chat. Lance, how you doing? Your comment on my video recently really hit home, and I hope you're doing better from what you just went through. I'm not going to get into it on here, but just sending my my thoughts out to you. Hope all is doing better with you, Lance. He says, would love it to be Davey Richards. Yeah, you know, I have no doubt that he's going to return someday. It'll be interesting. I know he's doing nursing school or whatever he's going for. He just hasn't been on TV much at all. He's focused, so we'll see. We'll see. Excuse me. Oof, beer. So yeah, thinking about the last segment, and I'll just backtrack and do whatever. I like the fact that they turned Moose heel. And I discussed this a little last week, and if I'm reiterating what I already said, I apologize, but I just think it needs to be said. The fact that they've done so many things with Moose, and it's been like the trickle effect with him. You know, he had the Grand Championship. He faced Aries headlining Slammiversary. What else do you do with him? You know? So the fact that they meaning whoever, you know, booked Aries and him together now with Cross, I think it's a stroke of genius. I really do, because you can only do so much with a baby face for so long. And I don't want to say that Moose was getting stale, but I think this completely refreshes his character. Okay, if you want to like, really dig deep into this, and the fact that he's with Cross, and Cross is one of the best heels in the company, in the game right now. You've got a veteran like Aries. Aries is priceless, okay? I mean, I put him up there with some of the world's best right now, okay? Seriously, I mean, he's not the belt collector for nothing. Other companies get it. Obviously, the one that let him go didn't. And and that's not an opinion, that's the truth. So you put Moose with two individuals like this, and they can help turn Moose into one of the best heels. Maybe not one of the best heels, but make him a better, certainly expand on his character. And I feel like the promo he cut tonight was damn good. Talking about how, I mean, it perfectly explained everything. It's like, oh, okay, Moose is going to explain this. Okay, what is he going to say? I wasn't like jumping up and down about, okay, he's with them now, and I'm excited about that. But the fact that they were going to give the mic to Moose, I was very curious, though. I was like, okay, how's this going to go? I feel it went great. I really do. The fact that he explained that he had been there for Eddie Edwards through this experience, and this other experience, and never walked away from him. And then Moose had the trouble with Aries, got a concussion, was contemplating retirement, and that was all in social media. And I talked about that. It was very interesting. So if that was all just put out there as part of the storyline, it's even more brilliant. It seriously is. The fact that you put something out there and people grab it and go, oh, what's this? What is he talking about? Is he really done? Is this real? People were talking about it. And then he gets hurt, and then all of a sudden, did I miss it? Did I miss something? Oh, okay. I go look at the screen, and the screen's blank. I was like, oh, shoot. Do I have viewers? Thought I was having issues. All right. Someone let me know in the chat if the feed is okay. We all good? Anybody? Somebody? All right, well, we'll keep going. Hope I'm not having issues, because I have before. Feed is great. Thank you. Much appreciated, guys. Where was I? Moose. So Moose had the issues, and then who was there for him? Nobody. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. Eddie was not there for him. He expected Eddie to be there for him because he's always been there for Eddie through the Sami Callihan stuff, through this issue, through the Tommy issue, everything recently. And then who he said cross-checked on him. That's very interesting. That is very interesting, because when I interviewed Cross a few weeks ago, by the way, if you haven't checked out the interview, go check it out. Nobody better than Canyon. You're so goofy, Caretaker. By the way, cheap plug for Caretaker. He's a host of a horror movie show, and they show all classic horror movies. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go click on his channel later after we're done here, not now, later, and go see what he posts on his YouTube channel. Your movies are on my to-do list to go see, Caretaker. I'm going to go check some of those out soon because I'm very curious. I've not seen a good classic scary movie in a long time. So yeah, the fact that Cross called him up and then Aries was there for him, and that just cemented everything. So I mean, how Moose told it was great. I think it was really good because he's not the greatest promo guy, but the fact that he was just telling a story. Just telling a story. And that's how some of the best promos are. You don't try to overdo it. You don't try to overthink it. There you go, Pierre. Go check it out. Not now, later. Telling a story, and that's sometimes the best promo you can do. If it's real, from the heart, not scripted. Of course, this was scripted, but he had bullet points. He touched on this. This guy did this. This guy did this, and this guy did this. And it all just fell into place. It was great. I don't think you could beat that. As far as the concept, So, very interesting. Also, very interesting that they called Moose Money. And no, I'm not comparing that to Mela Money, okay? No, don't even. Stop that. No, stop. Not even a thing. Oh, Jiminy. So yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I like the fact that Moose is with these guys, and I can't wait to see what's next. Oh, and if you want to hear something absolutely terrifying too. Oh, yes. Thank you, Caretaker. I almost forgot. The crowd was chanting Deuce. And it took me a while. All of a sudden, Josh is like, what are they chanting? And then the camera goes on several guys in the front row. Deuce, Deuce, Deuce. And of course, you know what Deuce is. Deuce is a turd. And isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that Johnny Mundo comes out and calls them turd cutters? How appropriate. I love it. He was calling he was using that on Lucha Underground too. Saying that about oh, damn it. The Lizard Tribe. Lizard Tribe? Yeah. In this recent bout before his wedding this past week. When they killed Luchasaurus and all that, and they're go hunting for some slimy turd cutters. Oh man, the stuff he uses is priceless. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how they're going to build this. And obviously a majority of it is going to be built down in Mexico. So you thought it was a douche. Oh my God, I'm crying. Oh, damn. Douche. One of my favorite all-time jokes. Vinegar truck flying down the road smashes into another water truck flying down the road. Douche. All right, next. Try the pork. I'll be here all week. All right. Let's go back to the beginning. Oh, shit. Oh, geez, Louise, you guys. Desi Hit Squad versus Grado and Joe Hendry with Katrina. Not Katrina, Katarina. I always screw that up. Because Katrina's in Lucha Underground. Always screw that up. My bad. Interesting match, a decent match between Desi Hit Squad and Grado and Joe Hendry. Love the intro song. Absolutely love it. I have not seen a lot of Joe Hendry stuff, and I know he's yeah, you got that wrong. Oh, you guys cracked me up. I know he's famous for the singing in the UK, his entrances, and how he does like separate songs for like everyone he faces or something to that effect. I've seen a couple of them. I saw one where he faced Ken Anderson in the UK right after Ken left TNA a few years ago, whatever it was. And I don't know. It's on YouTube. I don't remember what company it was for. I think it was ICW, possibly. I think it was ICW. But it was damn funny. And the fact that they're doing that now in Impact is just, it's priceless. So we put these guys together. I think they're a great team. Unfortunately, they came up short against the Desi Hit Squad. Desi Hit Squad getting a win. It's very interesting what they're doing with Desi Hit Squad. They get a win, they get a loss. They get a win, they get a loss. But whenever they get a win, they get super excited. And then their manager, what's his name? Gama Singh, I believe. He beats them down. He humbles them. So the fact that they went back and forth with this a few times, be interesting to see how they react to this win. You know, are they going to be all woohoo, or are they going to be like, no, we want more, stay focused, don't celebrate? So we'll see where this goes next week. I'm sure they're going to do something with them. But the big story here, besides the Desi Hit Squad win, is the fact that Grado got the big L, and Katarina is all fed up. And in the midst of being fed up and upset and disappointed and whatever with Grado, she professes her love to Joe Hendry. And this was not a, oh, the secret's out. Joe Hendry responded in kind, as in, aha, fooled you, come here, smooch, smooch, smooch. Joe Hendry was like, oh, what the, no, platonic. Do you not know the meaning of platonic? And he completely puts her down, like, with the broom. Yeah, that was funny last week. Who uses a broom? Honestly. The fact that Hendry then was like, no, I'm not in love with you. You may be in love with me, but I am not in love with you. And this is not going to happen. And I'm staying true to my friendship with my buddy here, Grado. So they're tight. I tweeted out, them hoes ain't loyal. So what's going to be even more interesting now is to see if Scarlett Bordeaux comes into play here somehow. But as we see in another thing here, just a little bit after that, Falaba and Cam come across Scarlett Bordeaux, and yeah, what did she say? I like powerful men. and that power turns her on. Well, power, like she said, power is intoxicating and can draw a lot of people, very interesting people, towards you if you're a powerful individual. So if KM and Fala go for the tag team championships and win somewhere down the line, they would have said power, right? And that would obviously draw in more attention from the smoke show, Scarlett Bordeaux. So I don't know, because I mean, there's so much like ultra violent stuff going on with LAX and the OGs, and we'll get to that in a second. So I don't know how they would, incorporate the whole Scarlett Bordeaux and power thing. I mean, they would have to go on quite the winning streak to like get Scarlett Bordeaux to be like their valet. But I hope that that's not all they do with Scarlett Bordeaux, because she is a very good wrestler. In fact, I keep seeing little clips and little gifs and little few second movies of very crazy, really good moves on Twitter. Go look them up. It's very entertaining, and she is good. She's not just TNA, all right? She's so much more. But my goodness, she is something. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. Cam and Falaba going for the power. The GWN flashback was fun. I usually don't talk about them too much, but it was the part where Hardy and Bully Ray were going for the championship. Bully Ray turned heel, revealed himself as the leader of the Aces and Eights, became champion, and Hogan and his daughter outside of the ring, outside of the cage at ringside. No! 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 It's just kind of funny. But that is a pretty cool moment. I enjoyed the Aces and Eights. It lasted a while, probably too long, but it was good while it lasted. I liked it. Fun little flashback there for the GWN network. Oh, shnikes, what's next here? Okay, the Eli Drake challenge. We talked about that. Stone Rockwell. Adventure. Great stuff. Lucha Brothers cut a promo together about wanting to be with Cage in a team. So it looks like we are going to get a match in the future of OVE with Callahan against the Lucha Brothers and Cage. Now, I don't know if that's going to be for Bound for Glory or if that's going to be for TV in Mexico. I don't know. I do not know. We'll have to wait and see. But I like the feud. I love, it's got to end at some point. But I like the fact that it switched from Callahan and Eddie Edwards to Callahan and Pentagon, and it kind of grew from there. So you got OVE with Callahan, the Lucha Brothers. Now they got Cage with them. And Cage is going to be down in Mexico too. So the fact that you got OVE going down to Mexico, at least I'm assuming they are. Can't wait to see that. Knockouts Championship match. Tessa Blanchard versus Sue Young. This was a lot of fun. Tessa went in with the Buzzsaw DDT, but then all the undead brides coming out with the coffin and walking off. were they walking to the rhythm of the Su Yung song? Da-na-na, da-na-na. It was almost kind of like a Thriller moment, you know? I was waiting for one of them to be like, jump on. Maybe? No. I'm old school. Anyways, uh, Thriller moment. So Tessa's distracted by all this, and top rope cutter. Yeah, that was cool. This whole match was really brutal. I mean, it was really. Su Yung is very intimidating with her look and her charisma. She throws it into her moveset. But then you've got someone new like Tessa Blanchard, who is very stiff and quick with her moves. But then she throws that intensity behind it. And I gotta say, there were several times in this match where that intensity from Tessa Blanchard overpowered, or I should say, dare I say, outshined Su Yung. I mean, they're both great, but Tessa Blanchard really is shining lately. And I want to stray away for this just for 2 seconds. I'm going to go back to All In. Folks, if you want to see a hell of a four-way match, the four-way that they did this past Saturday between Tessa Blanchard, Britt Baker, Chelsea Green, and Madison Rayne. Phenomenal. We don't see a lot of like fatal four-ways in women's wrestling. We get a couple triple threats, one-on-ones, obviously. But I don't think we've had a fatal four-way like this with this much talent in the ring at once in a long time. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Shut up, I'm thirsty. But yeah, that was a hell of a match. Tessa Blanchard is doing some incredible stuff, and she's collecting belts. She's almost becoming like the female, I should say, woman belt collector, similar to, or I should say, opposite to Aries. Knockouts champion, Rise champion, and I know she's got a couple other at least one or two. She some company in Chicago, Zello. I think she's champion there. Somewhere in California, she's champion. So yeah, I mean, she's really doing something awesome. Oh, excuse me. Beer burp. Yeah. By the way, I said this on Twitter. This is a dummy-free zone, okay? I'm not going to call any of you dummies. You guys are here. You're supporting me. I love you. No dummies, all right? So just wanted to throw that out there. I forgot in the beginning. So yeah, really good match between Su Yung and Tessa Blanchard. And then, like I said, Su Yung attacks Tessa Blanchard, drags her, puts her in the coffin that the undead brides bring out. And who comes to her rescue? Kiera Hogan and Allie out of the blue. Very interesting. And I don't want to overthink this. I liked it. It's like, oh, are they turning Tessa face? Well, Tessa Blanchard is a good heel. She's very sassy. She's very charismatic. She puts a big, how do I say it? Her confidence just exudes from her. Does that make sense? That's That's what she puts out, and it works. It totally works. She comes out to the ring, she does the whole strut thing, gives you a little wink, and she's just got that, oh man, she's gonna kick some ass. Every time she comes to the ring, she's got that look, you know? She does it well. She does it great. And there's not a lot of women out there that can come to the ring every single time, put on that face, and put their money where their mouth is every single time. Win, lose, or draw. She really brings it. So yeah, Allie and Kiera Hogan rescue Tessa from the coffin of Su Yung. Very interesting there. Tessa kept repeating, I don't need your help. I don't need your help. Well, obviously, you did. You know? So, kind of a funny matter-of-fact moment. We'll see where it goes. I like it, though. The match itself, though, no matter what you thought of the aftermath, I thought was incredible. I was really curious to see what the rematch was going to be like, and they really brought it. One of the best matches on this episode, I gotta say. We get a very interesting segment with King, Conan, and a bunch of what looks like, I'll just say, top dogs, top Don-ish gangsters. I don't know. I don't know what the term for them. An old fat bald white guy. What do you want? You know, I'm not a G. No G's here. So they the bosses tell Conan and King that they've got to put this whole feud on hold until October 14th. And they announce, so we get the first big announcement, and then we get the main event. I guess what I'm assuming is going to be the main event for Bound for Glory at the end. But the first match, they say, is going to be the OGs and King. We haven't seen King in the ring for a while. We've seen him as a mentor / manager, but which he's done well. So, versus LAX and Conan. And they kind of dubbed this as the final battle. And it should be, because this has been going on for a while. But I like the feud. You know, it's I think it's up the game in the company for tag team wrestling. I like the rivalry. Let's see here. So yeah, and anybody scratching their head and or surprised, Conan recently had, I believe, double hip surgery. Was it a few weeks ago, a month ago, whatever it was, returned to the ring in MLW as a part of the 40-man, what do they call that? The Battle Riot. And that was for like a number one contendership. Kind of like a Money in the Bank. Tom Lawler won that one, and he can cash in his chance at the championship whenever he wants to. So that's what that match was for. Conan was a part of that. It was short and sweet for him, but and this is all, from what I've heard, is kind of a final run for him, as in a farewell tour. So this at Bound for Glory for Conan is part of that. So this is actually really, before you look at this and go, oh, Conan's getting in the ring, this is a lot deeper for that, because Conan has a very rich history in lucha libre and professional wrestling. He's a legend. Whether you like him, whether he's your cup of tea or not, he's a legend, okay? Well respected, maybe not loved by all, but well respected at least. And the fact that he's getting in the ring one more time for Impact Wrestling, I think is pretty damn cool. I can't wait to see it. I want to see him throw some chairs around and throw some. I always screw it up. What the hell do you call those? Flapjacks? No, slapbacks, slapjacks. Whatever he hit King with a few weeks ago, and like cold knocked him out. It's flapjacks, right? Put some syrup on them. I'm kidding. It was slap nuts. Yeah, it was slapped. It was something. Anyways, he's like Daniel Price he's like a Mexican Triple H that loves getting himself over through the bookings. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it that way. But he's also helped a lot of people. Guys like Pentagon and Phoenix. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of different opinions of him out there, but he's also a great mind in the world of wrestling. Like anything he touches has something, some glimmer of positivity to it. Like he does some positive things for AAA. I think I heard that he was doing some stuff for Aero Lucha. I don't know where that's going. Haven't heard anything about Aero Lucha in quite a while. But we'll see. Anyways. So let's see what's next. So yeah, the fact that they're taking this down to Mexico after next week and they're not supposed to touch each other, but they're all going to be down there. It's going to be very interesting. Then we get what I was really looking forward to. I mean, it was a good match, but it was kind of short. It was like short and sweet. Everyone got some spots in, and some of the younger guys got a moment to shine. And I think it was just like, okay, these guys are going to be part of our, roster soon. We're going to give you just a taste of what they are. There goes YouTube censoring stuff again. You're not going to offend me unless you tell me to fuck off or something. Then you'll offend me. Then I'll get rid of you. It's okay, Daniel Price. It's okay. So we get Zachary Wentz, and I think these are all Ohio guys too. Zachary Wentz, who absolutely shined against Matt Sydal. Was it a week or two ago? I forget. Been a big fan of his for a while. He's a tag team partner of Desmond Xavier, which I wish they would bring the Rascals to Impact, but hey, that still can happen. Can still happen. We'll see, because Desmond Xavier is still a part of Impact as well. But we get some new faces to Impact Wrestling. Ace Austin, who I recently saw on a House of Hardcore show that was on Twitch a few weeks ago. It was an older one, but nonetheless, he was featured on there against, I forget who, another young up-and-comer that they feature on House of Hardcore. And Trey Miguel, who I've seen in, oh goodness, where was it? I always get him confused with a couple other younger guys out there. Was it MLW? I forget. But a ton of talent. I was assuming they weren't going to come out on top of this one, but the fact that they all got at least a moment to shine with some high-flying stuff, some great moves, and OVE came out on top. And then Callahan puts a chromo. Dear God. Cut him off. Yeah. Cuts a promo. It's funny because my dad does that all the time. So now I know where I get it. It's like Less stick sick. I don't know. Dyslexic? I don't know. Maybe. Blame it on the hams. But yeah, they get some great over the top rope moves into the outside. Man, and the more I see, and I don't get me wrong, I love Sami Callihan. He's one of the best heels in the industry right now because he's just raw and uncensored, and he's awesome. He's, he just puts it out there, doesn't care. Nasty, whatever. But his crew of OVE, Dave and Jake Christ, just, man, they just, every time I see him now, they shine just a little bit more, impress me just a little bit more. It's certainly one of the best tag teams out there. It almost makes me feel like they shouldn't have put the tag team belts on them back when they did. They should wait till like now. But, it is what it is. It's not really a complaint. It's just an observation that has that swag. Oh, Daniel, your mouth. Gotta watch that potty mouth. Because YouTube's going to get rid of you. It's not me. It's YouTube. I'll read the whole chat later, see what you guys are all talking about. But I appreciate you guys being here and blowing up the chat. Trust me, I appreciate it. I'll read it all later. But yeah, solid match between OVE and Sami Callihan and Zachary Wentz, Ace Austin, and Trey Miguel. Ton of talent. Some great up-and-comers. And if you're not real familiar with this stuff and you want to see more, like I said it a million times, look them up on YouTube. There's a bunch of their matches out there. So yeah, I can't wait to see more from these guys. The talent from Ohio really is shining through. And Sammy's not normal. You said it. It depends on who you're talking to, though. Because I'm pretty sure all these guys are from Ohio, and the fact that I'm assuming it's the influence of Sammy to management saying, hey, there's this crop of kids over here. We got to bring them into the show, give them a chance to shine, and they'll really bring a ton of talent in. And some eyes as well. And that's another great thing about this show. Fresh crop of talent. Keep bringing in new faces like this. It's not a bad thing, folks. It's not a bad thing. This is all ways you can expand your X division or just roster in general, depending on who you want to bring in. If, and so can't be around for X amount of tapings because something else is going on, you bring in this handful of guys and just let them shine and just let them go nuts. And it's awesome. So, and then we had the Moose Money Aries cross segment, along with the announcement from Johnny Impact that he is going to be Aries contender at Bound for Glory. We get some announcements for next week. Next week, we are getting... Where did I write it here? Here we go. We got Kong versus Cage. I don't know if that's for the X Division Championship. Could be just an earning spot or just a match. We get... Lucha Brothers versus the Cult of Lee. Poor Cult of Lee. It's okay. They're still a good team. But the Lucha Brothers are just hot lately. They're just hot. And the LAX is going to be in action. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other stuff announced. So like I said, yeah, we got one more show from the Rebel Complex. Then we go to Mexico for a month, about a month's worth of shows, I think, give or take a little. And then Bound for Glory. So yeah, going to be very interesting to see how the next several weeks go leading up to Bound for Glory. We've got some matches already booked. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with the Knockouts Championship between now and then. Are they going to turn it into a fatal four-way at Bound for Glory? That's just like off the top of my head thinking like, okay, maybe it's going to be Kiera Hogan, Allie, Tessa, and Su Yung. They should do it like in a cage or something. That'd be nuts. For the Knockouts Championship, or maybe a ladder match, maybe. Can't wait to see Mundo in Mexico. God, they hate him down there. So it's going to be interesting to see what the fans do down there. They're also scared shitless of Cross. That's where he got the moniker of the Devil of Monterey. As you heard right here on Smash This Podcast. Cheap plug. Go check out the interview. It was a lot of fun. Absolutely terrifying to interview that man, but a hell of a lot of fun. Ton of fun. So that's pretty much it. Loaded episode, a lot of fun. Got some decent wrestling, some comedy, a little bit of hotness from Scarlett Bordeaux. Never a bad thing. So, a little bit of everything. Not a bad thing. So, tomorrow night, because of, wife being so sick, I was distracted. I didn't want to do something and then have to quit it. I just, so I'm going to rewatch Lucha Underground tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, I'll do my Lucha Underground review. I still have to catch up on a couple other things. The Bad Intentions Impact show, and this weekend I know is also the what else? What do they advertise? MediaCon? The UK stuff. I think that's next weekend, I think. Eli Drake's I can't think what it's called. Night of Dummies? Something like that. It was oh my god, excuse me. So professional, I know. He gets his own he gets to host his own show. Pretty cool. It's a one night only that they shot like on the same night. They just didn't air them back to back. That's coming up this weekend. Tomorrow? Oh, Saturday. Saturday or Sunday, I forget. But yeah, we got that coming up too. So yeah, we got a few Twitch shows, a few GWN shows we're going to check out soon. I'm going to try to review them on here, trying to catch up, but this week's just been crazy. We'll see. But thanks all for tuning in. Much appreciated. Much love to everyone. Thanks again. If you're new to the channel, like I say every time, and you're digging the content, there's plenty more of this where it came from. Go check out some of the other stuff in your spare time. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, folks. Smash that sub button. Don't be afraid to hit it. We're just trying to get the channel monetized again, because it used to be, and then YouTube took it away, all because of some dumbass found a dead body on YouTube. I can't even think of the guy's name. She's got two first names. Logan Paul, something, whatever. some dumbass's fault. Screwed it for all the up and coming guys like me. So, and if you want to support Smash This podcast, in the description, I've got t-shirts for sale. If you dig the product that much and you want to go buy one, hit me up on social media. Tag me in it. Would love to see it. Nothing would make me happier. Cross for 1,000. Yeah, that'd be cool. Get Cross back on here for 1,000 subs. Hell yeah, we'll do it. We'll make it happen. Who knows where Cross will be by then? But we're trying to do that by next summer. So smash that sub button, folks. All right, we're out of here. We will see you guys tomorrow night for Lucha Underground, and then whatever else happens this weekend. I'm not going to make any more promises because we see where that went this week. Cheers, folks. Drink one for Burt Reynolds. We miss you. We love you. Rest in peace. And much love to you all. Good night, folks.